Father here. Welcome back to the Nerd Father. Before I begin, I just ask you to keep a parishioner of mine who just passed away from COVID in prayer, and his family as well. We just had the funeral today, and it's never easy to lose somebody, but when it's from the pandemic, it's even harder. But this is a video today that I really wish I didn't have to make. Doctor Who released its trailer for the Revolution of the Daleks, which used to be the Christmas special, but then it was moved to New Year's Day, and originally I think it was supposed to be on the 28th of December, and now it's back to New Year's Day, so who knows what the heck it's supposed to be. But I chose the Nerd Father because, well, I'm a priest. I'm also a nerd. And I grew up in Iowa, and Friday nights in Iowa was awesome because it was sci-fi night. You had Red Dwarf, you had Jack Hanley the Stargazer, I believe it was, and then you have an entire episode of Doctor Who, one of the classics. Now, I probably was introduced to Doctor Who in the late 80s, mid late 80s. It was Friday night was the one night I could stay up because there was no school the next day. So I don't remember the first time I watched Doctor Who. I mean, it's been a part of my life almost for 30 years now, and these last 3 years have just been so frustrating. Watching what they've done to this character that I love, and now retrofitting or retrograding or retconning it so that William Hartnell's no longer the first Doctor, that the Doctor's not Gallifreyan. I say bull. I'm not accepting it as canon. These last 3 seasons, or 2 to 3 seasons, have just been utter garbage. Now, I was a Peter Capaldi fan. I will admit that I am guilty of loving his character Malcolm Tucker in the thick of it. So I was really excited when they announced that he was going to be the 12th Doctor, I believe it was. Because, you know, it's one thing when you're a fan that you get to play the character that you love, but Jodie has said that she's never seen an episode of Doctor Who. And I honestly watched part of this last season, and it just seems she's really trying hard to channel Matt Smith and David Tennant into one character. And the stories that I've seen this last year have just been utter garbage. So, normally when they would be releasing a trailer saying that the new season of Doctor Who was coming up, this is something that I would have been excited about. I was in the seminary when the new series reboot started in 2005, and I've been following the reboot since it first came out. I remember that you'd have to wait like 6 months because it would air in Britain first, and then it would come over to the Sci-Fi Network before BBC America started airing it. And then I think it was after the first or second year when it really started to catch on that it would air the same day as it did in Britain, and you didn't have to wait. I think I was the only one watching Doctor Who as a kid. I mean, I don't think it was something that you exactly admitted to, being a nerd. But I remember when it first came back in 2005, I was excited because it's something that I had been looking forward to, because I remember watching the movie when it aired on Fox back in 98, and I thought it was great. Although the idea that the Doctor was half human was something we don't talk about now. So I was beyond thrilled when they announced the reboot. Loved the first season, was heartbroken that Eccleston wasn't going to come back as the second. But you know what? It turned out for the best, because David Tennant is now my second favorite Doctor next to Tom Baker. So again, it was something that you looked forward to. And I kind of had a little mini panic attack because one of the only TVs in the seminary was being watched on the night that Doctor Who premiered in America. So thankfully, with enough pleading, I was able to watch it and been watching it ever since. Until 3 years ago now. Because when I got moved to my current parish, we don't have BBC America. And it actually turned out to be fine because Capaldi's last season was garbage from what I've seen. I didn't care for how they treated Missy and John Sims. Um, and you knew that with the last two doctors that there was going to be a push for a female doctor. I remember before Capaldi, they were kind of hoping was this going to be the time that the female doctor was going to happen. And if you remember, I think it was Hellbent under Capaldi, I think it was Capaldi, that he shoots one of the Gallifreyan generals and he reboots into a woman, and it turns out that this was the first time that she was in a man's body, and it's like, dear Lord, how do you handle all that ego? So you kind of knew something was going to happen, and then they did. They revealed the new Doctor to be Jodie Whittaker. And I remember the new trailer for her first season where she falls through the glass ceiling, so literally breaking the glass ceiling. Um, it just was garbage. So, talking about the fam, well, Rory and Amy felt more family than the three characters that are now accompanying the so-called Doctor. So again, it used to be that you got really excited when the new trailer was coming out. You couldn't wait. And after watching yesterday's, I really could care less. I would play the trailer, but BBC would strike it because they don't like it when you kind of use their material. But let's see if we could do some screenshots. So it begins with the Doctor being in prison, because I believe it was at the end of The Timeless Child, which was utter garbage, introducing Ruth as the first female Doctor, played by Jo Grant, and that Jodie wasn't the first female Doctor. Again, it destroys the canon. It destroys almost 57 years of Doctor Who canon. And it's just basically scoring woke points. So, let's see where we can find it. The Doctor is in prison, looking so sad. Aww. And then you get Captain Jack. So, I did see the last season where he came back for like 30 seconds or so. But this is all just a bunch of member berries. They just seem to be desperate. Their ratings have not been good. And they're trying to use things from the past that will hopefully draw new viewers back. Honestly, I really couldn't care less. I like Captain Jack. Okay, I mean, as a Catholic, I don't exactly care for his lifestyle. I mean, the fact that he will sleep with anything that has breath. But I just in this thing, I just couldn't care less. So we get the view of the TARDIS where they're putting post-it notes. Be honest, I don't know where the TARDIS would be at this time. You got Yaz. And that's the thing that last season, it was like they did a whole mental health episode kind of focused around Yaz, I think it was. Whatever. So you got the Daleks, the revolution of the Daleks. And the Prime Minister is introducing it. At least that appears to be the Prime Minister. Last time they did that, Victory of the Daleks. Set in World War II with Matt Smith, Churchill introduced the Daleks, who turn out to be bad. This time, it looks like in the Revolution of the Daleks, another Prime Minister is introducing the Daleks, and let me guess, they turn out bad. But the Doctor's in prison, so how are they going to do it? How does Captain Jack get into it? I don't know. I don't care. Let's see. And I believe from what I was hearing, somebody was saying, oh, where the heck? This guy, I guess he was an I can't even say the word. Something of London or England last season. Acnoids. Some review I said he's supposed to be playing a bad orange man. I don't know. Really, like I said, I don't care anymore. So, I guess it's going to be the fam and Captain Jack trying to save the world. And the Doctor's still in prison. Couldn't care. How I hate this logo. I mean, I just bought the David Tennant Blu-ray collection. It has that awful logo on it. Thankfully, the menus, the DVD menus, are the original from the original, because I have one of David Tennant's seasons on DVD before they did the box set, and they have the old logo or whatever the thing was. They didn't change it for this thing. And then you got Jodie blabbering. So I really wish I could say I'm excited about this, but I can't. I'll watch it, but honestly, it's become one of the shows I now watch to hate watching. You know, kind of like a car wreck that you want to turn away from, but you can't. So, rest in peace, Doctor Who. I'm going to say that Peter Capaldi was the last Doctor. They want to get us back. They're going to have to do a lot of work. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I really wish I didn't have to make this video, but let me know what you think. Hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe to be notified when new videos come out. So until next time, God bless.